All right, we are back at it this morning, finishing up this field I was on last night. Meet the Peterson family. Our dad, the three Peterson brothers, and our families farm together in central Kansas. Our family farm started in 1882 and has been raising cattle and crops ever since. Please subscribe to this channel and give us a like and a comment if you enjoy the video. Over here is our irrigation pond. Normally the water level is up to this fence here, and normally it extends all the way over to there. So we pumped it all out last summer, and then obviously there's really been no runoff from the fields. We've had some rain over the last year, but no runoff. So it's dry and needing to be filled. As you guys maybe saw in the last video, we had 1.5 inches of rain last week, so that was very good, but they kind of forecast some more for this week, and that's not looking as good, not looking as promising. So we're definitely still needing rain, all the rain we can get, especially for our irrigation. A lot of people, you know, they know people in Kansas who a lot of their farm is irrigated, like the majority of their farm. On our farm here, we only about 10% of our farm is irrigated. So we have 3 irrigation pivots, and 2 of those irrigation pivots are out of ponds, like the one you saw there. And so if those ponds don't get filled up with rainwater, with runoff, then we don't have any water to put on the crops. So it's lost. So we need some big rains here in the spring. Normally in Kansas we get some, and so we'll keep the faith that those will come eventually and that we'll have water to pump. But for now, our ponds are empty. All right, I'm folded up and I'm gonna drive my train here back to the farm. We've got to fuel up. We're real low on fuel. So we're gonna go do that and then move on to the next field. All right, made it back to the yard. Gonna fuel up here. When I was a kid, I was running a tractor out in the field. I was probably, I don't know, 6th grade, something like that. And I was jamming the music, having a great time. Of course, I wasn't paying attention to the fuel gauge. And all of a sudden, it stops. And if I remember right, I know I didn't have a cell phone, and it's possible my radio wasn't working either or something, because I'm pretty sure I had to run a couple miles to go get help and get some fuel to the tractor. And I remember my dad being not so happy with me when that happened. But these new tractors, this one's been beeping at me this whole last 10-15 minutes of the field, saying you got to refuel, you got to refuel, you got to refuel. So that while that is annoying when you're aware of the tank and you're just trying to finish the field, it is nice that like when I was in 6th grade, that wouldn't happen anymore with these newer tractors. They let you know that you're about out of fuel. Moving on to the last field of corn. Man, the cattle guy left his mineral feeder in the middle of our cornfield. Come on, man. Well, look who came to help me move the mineral feeder. Hey, cattle guys need to get your mineral feeders out of our corn.
I've been meaning to do this for like a week.
That's what I call procrastination right there.
Well, it fits better in my pickup than the sidekick.
Of course, would you be able to lift it up by yourself?
I've loaded it myself, yeah.
Oh, well, you're a...
I'm happy to have some help, though.
Yeah. You lost a bucket? Alright, got that out of the way. So explain to the viewers what that's used for, Kendall.
Well, there's mineral in there, and the cows feed out of it, so it's called a mineral feeder.
That is. So why do cattle need mineral?
Well, it's like taking your multivitamin in the morning, you know?
Yeah. So Kendall's taking me over to get the fertilizer semi. That way I don't have to jog a mile and a half.
Yeah, I got
What have you been working on today?
Well, we sorted Group of 60 steers to sell this Thursday. They're pretty good. They're pretty good size. They're probably going to weigh around 900.
Nice.
So
did you vlog any of it?
No. I started vlogging a little something the other day, and then I got distracted. So,
well, it's not my fault Kendall doesn't film more. He can only blame himself. All right, thanks for the ride, Kendall. So we're just moving from here over there. You can see the planter on the horizon. Nathan came to check on me. Look, he's filming too.
Just checking on how things are going. Greg's on the first pass. On this field we had the forage blend on. The cows were on here for a long time. So there's not just a ton of residue left, but it's gonna have to cut through some of it. A little dusty. That rain we got really soaked in. So out here is where we have the best remaining cover. The cows do a pretty good job of going over it evenly, but they have a few spots that they end up tromping up. And then anywhere where we mowed to put a fence, they grub that down. So I've told Kendall maybe we should just tromp it down to build a fence instead of swathing it and baling it, but that should all be broken down by the time the corn's done. We did the exact same thing over here where this triticale's growing last year. So here you can see there's some residue underneath that triticale. So it holds on, but after chopping that corn off, you know, we need something still there. And then we drilled this triticale and we ran cows on it for, I think, what, a couple months? Which was pretty important with low on feed this year. And then hopefully we'll kill this kind of when the flag leaf comes out, and hopefully we'll get some soaker rains and then drill beans into it.
All right, ran out of seed, so here comes Kendall bringing me some seed. I texted him. I texted both Nathan and Kendall before I ran out, but they didn't get out here in time still. I gave them plenty of time.
This should be our last fill. We're just a little ways up the hill planting, so thought I'd just bring the seed with the tractor so we don't have to carry the bags up the ladder.
Nathan's got his safety goggles on. Safety first.
That's right.
Don't want
watch out for those flying
Don't want a corn seed in your eye.
Much easier that way. Just gotta be careful not to run into anything. Not to drop any. Whoop. Get her done.
Thanks for the seed, Nathan. Well, we are coming to a close on today and on this field. Hope you guys enjoyed following along with this year's corn planting. This is it for us with corn, but we are definitely not a majority corn farm or anything like that. We plant as much milo most years. Some years we plant more milo than corn. This year we're probably going to have a little bit more corn than milo, but we pretty much split our acres between 4 crops: wheat, corn, milo, and soybeans, and split somewhat evenly, and then we double crop after the wheat. So really we have 5 different rotational things happening. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that we're by no means are we done planting. We're done planting corn, but we'll start with soybeans here in a week or 2. We like to plant our soybeans a little later compared to a lot of people, and then at the same time we're planting soybeans, which we usually do with the air seeder. We'll have this planter planting milo kind of in that early June time frame, or right at June 1st. and then we'll have wheat harvest followed by double crop planting. So we've got several months of planting left to go, but it is always nice to get that first crop out of the way. Although oats was kind of our first crop, so we got our oats done, now we've got our corn done. We're like 2/6 of the way done with planting. Compared to, you know, a lot of like the I-State people, they pretty much just do corn and beans, and so you kind of have your one crop and then your other crop. All right, so this field is the cover crop blend that Kendall grazed this past summer and fall, and even over the winter. There were cows and calves out on a lot of this. And so there was a blend planted here of a lot of different things, and still a lot of really nice residue cover, even though we grazed it. And then the soil conditions under this residue cover are just perfect. Lots of nice moisture. It really, there's the seed. It really makes the soil really nice and soft when you grow this cover crop blend, and it really retains moisture well. In a lot of places, I know they till in the spring to try to get moisture out of the soil, like up north. They're wanting the soil to dry out. Well, here in Kansas, that's like hardly ever a problem, because we have such a long season to plant, and it warms up so early in the year. I mean, our soil temperatures are ready to plant much earlier than up north. The reason why we do no-till on our farm is because we want to keep moisture in the soil. We want the soil to be covered. The more you cover the soil, the less weeds there are, and the more organic matter is formed. There's a lot of benefits for no-till. Now, does that mean no-till is for everyone? Of course not. There's a lot of reasons for tillage in a lot of different places, but at the same time, we do believe that no-till is a very effective system for our fields with our soil types and our climate and our location. So that's a little bit why we do what we do. And to me, this is like the pinnacle of no-till, kind of that regenerative ag movement, is when you can get a cover crop, when you can graze the cover crop, you can build the organic matter, you have a perfect seed bed, everything went right, even in a year with little rainfall. Now, on the far side of the field, it didn't grow very well because we didn't get enough rain, but down here in the low area, this is what it looks like when it's done right. So we're pretty happy with this, and on a year where it would rain, we would capture even more of that benefit and keep even more moisture in the soil, and that moisture, of course, goes into growing that cover crop and producing more organic matter that goes back into the soil, versus when you till, a lot of that moisture is evaporating and leaving the soil, and you're not growing anything with the moisture, with the nutrients, and that's not being returned back to the soil. So I'm not here to bash tillage, because I know that in a lot of places tillage is the best system. And even here in central Kansas, on some of these flat fields with really good soil that's not prone to erosion or anything like that, you know, certainly an argument can be made that tillage is better, but we definitely feel, like I said, that where we're at with our system, we're very happy with it. But to each their own, you know, it's free country. There's our neighbors over at Watkins Tree Farm, hard at work tending to their Christmas trees. Good job, guys. All right, I made it back to the yard. Somebody left the Powerlift hydraulic door open. Cough, Nathan, cough. So I better get that shut. So now that's shut. There's our air seeder getting ready we'll be ready to plant soybeans with that here in a little bit. And of course our sprayer, which has been getting used quite a bit, and of course will be used quite a bit for the foreseeable future as we get ready to plant more crops and prepare more fields to plant. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the video today. Please give us a like and a comment if you have any questions, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, we appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Check out our music videos linked in the description. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, and explore our website, www.petersonfarmbrothers.com. See you guys next time.